Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Path of Exile 3.18, and I'm going to give you guys a guide for my 3.18 build. So I played this in 3.17 too. I optimized it a little bit because there were some stuff that I need to change because some people said in comment it was better to do it that way, so I changed it. So what is this build? First of all, this build is like the Beserker Cyclone General Scry Blade Flurry, so it's a well-known build, but I changed some stuff. I made it more tanky, so I got 100% spell suppression. I got 100% elemental avoidance, so I cannot get shocked, ignite, and all the other stuff, and that's very cool. I'm bleed immune too, so that's really good too. 30,000 armor, that's a very nice defensive stat too that we got. So it works really well. Will you die? Yeah, you die sometimes because it's still Path of Exile. It depends how high you go. I did a lot of testing with the build, so what I do is I'll alchemy and go tier 16s the whole time, and it works really well. I need to say it's very tanky for a Beserker. You still got some very nice DPS, and that's really cool. So what we are going to do is, I'm doing now the Shaper here, so you will see it goes really well. Then I'm going to show you guys in-game the gear. So what do you need to have, what do you need to watch. Then I'm going to talk about path of building, why I took certain notes, and then to end the video, I will equip a starting weapon for mapping. I will equip the Tabula Rasa, and I will show you guys a tier 16 map, so that you can see that you can do really quick some high level mapping too with not so good gear. I still use all the other gears, of course. It's going to be a little bit harder, but there is not really a big problem to do very high-end mapping, so I would think that you can go right away in red mapping with like very basic gear, because the DPS output is a lot and there is a lot of defensive layers already at the start when you go to mapping. So enjoy the Shaper kill, and I see you guys in the next part of the video. Okay guys, the next part I'm going to talk about the gear, so in-game and the flasks, and what you need to have on the gear. But first I'm going to start talking about a very important aspect of the build, that are defensive layers, so that you'd understand if I go later on in Path of Building what it means. So there are like a couple of layers in this build, because I don't like to die a lot. I know most of the builds that are doing this, they go purely for DPS, they die every map a couple of times. But I don't like to play like that, because my goal in a game is to go as high as possible on my level. So you can see here the defensive stats. So first of all, without using my flasks, without endurance charges, you can see my armor is 27,000. Why has that to be that high? Because it scales very good with Molten Shell and Val Molten Shell. So what is Molten Shell doing? So according to the amount of armor that you got, you can just block some damage that you got in. It's like extra HP, you can call it. So with my 27 armor, if I use now Molten Shell, you will see here at the top, I got 6,159 on the normal Molten Shell. So the enemies are going to hit me, and they first going to hit on the 6,000. So it's a very good layer of defense, but you need to have a lot of armor. If I use my Lion's Roar here, you can see it goes a little bit higher. So let's have a look. Here it goes, it's 33,000. If I got all my endurance charges up, I'm capped, because it's very important, because I'm using the Abysses. Can you go higher? Yeah, but at the moment I cannot do it, because I don't have the gear and I don't have the level. So if I can get a little bit more, I think that 40,000, 50,000 make you almost immune to damage physical wise in like maps. So I want to go a little bit higher, but this is already very good. So be sure that you got that it can go a little bit higher. Then the next layer of defense, and that's very important too, is like life regeneration per second. That's very important. Why? Because if you go into stack up rage, it's going to hit you. There blood rage I got too. So it's not yet fully capped, but at the moment it does the job. That's more than enough. I still losing a little bit of life, but if you go really fast, you will always get your life back. Then the next one, and this is a very important one, so it's called spell suppression, we call it. So what is it going to do? If you get spell damage in, it's going to mitigate 50% of the spell damage. So you can see it here, prevention 50% the whole time. This is very important. That's what was a little bit wrong the last time that I did this build. This is now 100% the whole time. So 100%, so the whole time I'm going to mitigate 50% of the spells that are coming in. That's very needed as you play like a melee. Why? Because sometimes you just go around and you're going and you come to a pack that is throwing like lightning damage on you. You cannot hit it in time, therefore this is very important. So that's very good. Of course, cap all the resistance. In the best case scenario, one day maybe I'm going to get my chaos resistance up too. It's possible, but I need to get better gear. Not better gear, but more gear that is suitable for this build. So at the moment, I don't yet. I want to have this above 0. That's not all. So I got block damage too, so my block is 28% too, and then this is very good too, my enemy crit extra damage reduction is minus 50%, so that means that if I get a crit, 50% of that crit is mitigated, so it's very good now too. I can get it to 80% too, but then my armor, my determination need to be the reservation of mana is going to be higher. So at the moment I can get this to 80% very easy, and that's a lot. Then you're almost crit immune, by the way. And then the last one, of course, avoidance to elemental ailments, ignite avoidance, chill avoidance, freeze avoidance, shock avoidance, and that's very good. So I got a shitload of layers and defensive layers, and that makes it very good. Now I'm going to show you guys the gear and the flasks. The next part is the gear. So how do you need to play it? So you guys can see here, you need to have a one-handed sword, a lot of physical damage, speed. You can have some critical strike on it. This is a very expensive one. You can go with the Paradoxia too, but just get a one-handed sword. The higher the physical damage, the better. So here I got 3 sockets on. So 2 greens and 1 red, and here I got my cast when damage taken support on. I still use it. Is it needed? Not really, but I'm not really a very good player. I mean, with playing, I cannot play really good the game. It goes a little bit too fast for me, so I use it. So cast when damage 2020, then you got precision here to get some extra damage in and accuracy. So keep it low level, because otherwise you will use too much mana. And here I got Blood Rage too. That's the first, the weapon that you need to use. The next one, I'm using the Abysses, therefore I got so many defensive layers in it. So the enchant that I'm using, General Cry, has +1 to maximum number of mirages, so I go from 5 to 6. Because General Cry, what is it going to do? It consumes enemy bodies, and it's going to make like little warriors. Normally you got 5, I got 6. That's how it works. That's the Abysses for you. Then the shield. So the shield is very important. I'm not going with the red blade banner. Why not? Because it's very hard to get. I'm losing a lot of DPS that way, because the power of the war cries are 100, always maximum, so 100%, the maximum that you can get, but not with this. So I got a tower shield, but what is so good about the tower shield, it's very easy to roll. I already rolled just with spamming Chaos, a couple of them. So you can see it here, I'm selling them at the moment. So here are a couple of other ones. It seems they roll really easy. That's really cool. So what do you need? You need to have, you take 50% reduced extra damage from critical strikes. You need to have high life, and then you just need to get the avoid element ailments on it, and you can just with the bench get your chance to suppress spell damage on it. That's all. Yeah, it rolls really easy. It took me around, for 3 shields, I got around 400 chaos that I used on them. Yeah, that's it. So then for the rings, I got 1 vermilion ring. This can be really expensive. So you need to start, of course, with the smaller version of it. Get channel and skills have -3 to total mana cost, because my Cyclone is 0 at the moment. Therefore you need to have it. The other one is Ruby Ring. Here I got the vulnerability on it, because that's really important. So you will see you start your mapping with, of course, a ring that doesn't have that, but the moment that you can buy that, your DPS on mapping goes a lot higher. So yeah, once again, life and resistance, try to get that on it, and dexterity and intelligence if you need it. Then for the chest, so this is my end game chest. Why I'm using this chest? It's not that expensive, this chest, but you will pay for a 6 link on the new league, 4 to 5 exalted. So at the start you probably don't have it. Go with a 5 link astral plate or a 6 link astral plate, but then you need to have a utility flask that removes bleeding. That's very important. So why do I like the chest a lot? Because it got a lot of armor, it got a lot of life, it got nice fire and cold resistance, and it just get rid of bleeding. You think by yourself, is bleeding that important? Yeah, I don't like to have bleeding, because there is always some shit around. If I get rid of bleeding, I need to get an extra utility flask, but I don't want to have that. This is the end game. I like it a lot. I always use it, and I always try to get it. So it's the Gresanian's Carapace that you need to have. So yeah, try to get it. Here my links, and I totally forgot the links in the other 3 areas too. So here I got Enlighten. Now Enlighten will go to level 4. So Corrupted, it will go to level 5. So my guess, it's a little bit easier to get one. It's still expensive. But yeah, you need to get it, otherwise you cannot use your auras. I got Pride, I got Determination, I got Blood and Sand. That's what I'm using. On the shield, I got Beserker. I got increased duration, and here I got Molten Shell and Val Molten Shell. And then my 6th link is General Cry, is Impale, is Brutality, is Pulverize, is Awakening, melee physical damage, and is Blade Flurry, of course. Then for the gloves, I always go with Spike gloves. Try to get the suppress on it, the spell suppression, mana leech, life, and the other one stats are, you can just try to get them a little bit later, because this is high end. At the start you probably will get your resistance on it. Then this one, the belt, Stygian Vice, once again just the same life. And resistance, here you will get the chance to do onslaught when you kill, very handy. Then your boots, you can see my boots here. I want to always go for 2-tone boots, get as high as possible movement speed. I got elusive on it and get the resistance that you still need. You can see the enchant here, increased attack speed and cast speed if you've killed recently, very good. And for the gems here that you need to use, so here I'm using a central war sheaf with multiple totems, that works really well. Leap Slam is here too, and Deviant's Banner, very good. Very good, take it. And then on the boots, here I got my Cyclone. I got Desecrate. Desecrate is going to put the bodies on the ground. And here I got Infused Channeling and Cast Wild Channeling, because that's how you get your bodies on the ground. So if I turn around, you can see it. I got bodies here. I use General Cry, and here are the Mirage Warriors. For the Flasks, you got Blood of the Kauri. Very good, just take it. So you already get in 1.3 seconds a lot of life, but at the end you get your life full. Here you got Bottled Fate. It's expensive, but still the best. Here I got my Diamond Flask. When it needs to be used, you can choose it yourself. I use it when I use my guard skill, so this will be used if I use Molten Shell. I like it a lot. Then the Quicksilver, of course, and the good old flask that I use the whole time. It's Granite Flask. Here it is. For the Phantoms, so I use this one, the Soul of Shakira, very important to get, otherwise you get killed by poison. And the other one you can choose, you take this one, Soul of Lunaris, or you take this one, Soul of Arakali. And yeah, that was it, guys. So now I'm going to show you guys Path of Building. Okay guys, we are now in Path of Building, and I'm going to show you guys really quick the Path of Building and what you need to watch. So first of all, the ascendancies, so you can see it here. So you need to take all the way to Blitz, then you need to take Warbringer, and then you need to take Aspect of Carnage. So that's how you need to do it. Then you start here. First of all, if you level up, go right away to here. So here are the war cries. So what do you need to do? The war cry is instant, but you need to be around, I think, 2 seconds of cooldown, because you need to give the time to the Blade Flurry warriors to channel and release their attack. At the moment I'm not at 10 attacks for every second, so I cannot go to 6 stages, but yeah, that's not really a problem because my DPS is more than enough for me at the moment. So you can see here, you come here and then you take the mastery here, increase damage for each time you war cried recently. Very good one, so you take this one. I took this one too, regeneration here on life, because I need it for the rage. So ignore the unreserved mana. I'm not sure why he's doing that at the moment, because you guys just saw in the game that I got still mana. So then you come over here. Here you take Unwavering Stance, because otherwise you get stunned. Here you take the jewel. So what is important, Impale, you inflict less 2 additional hits while using Pride. That's a very expensive one, but it will boost your DPS with a lot. Then you come here to the south. So here you need to take this one. So 150 accuracy, because you need to have accuracy. And here I'm very amazed why here I need to take precision. So I'm not sure why it is gone. Maybe it was a mistake for me. Then you come here, you need to take this cluster. This is to get the mana reservation lower on your auras. Then you come over here, take this one, very good for swords. You need to get chance to impale enemies on hit, 20% here. And then this cluster. It's very important too, because otherwise you will not get your elemental avoidance and your suppression, your spell suppression. So try to take a big jewel, a cluster jewel. Here you can see it. So with 8 keystones. And then you need to take here a small one. So here you will get elegant forming. So it's going to give you 6% spell suppression and 20% ailment avoidance, because otherwise you can reach 100%. Here you need to get a medium one. Why? Because here you got the mob mentality. Why it's so good? So every time that you are going to use a war cry, according to the power of the war cry, you get a chance to get a frenzy, an endurance charge, and a power charge. This is the only source that you get endurance charges in this build. And then this, of course, lead by example. So it's not really needed at the moment. I just thought this is a mistake from me. Because I got it already on my jewel, so it was not needed. I need to replace my jewel, but you can take this one too. It's very good if you need to take another one. So if you use Warcry, you get Onslaught. Very good. And then here, once again, elegant form. Then we're going upstairs to here, and here, this you need to take because your Warcry, General Cry need to be instant. Why? Because otherwise you stop turning around on your Cyclone. Take here Fortify 2. Because you need to have it. You can skip this, but you will get a little bit more squeezy. But Fortify is a very good defensive layer too. Then you come here for life. Here you take Life Mastery, the 10% increased maximum life. Then you need to take this node for the War Cries. Take recover 15% of life when you use a Warcry. Very good for survivability once again. Then we come here to this node because you're using a shield. You can take those 3. And here you need to take this one. Chance to avoid elemental ailments. Otherwise you will not reach 100%. Don't forget to take it. 100% elemental ailment is so good. Be sure that you take it. We take this once again. So here is a Juggernaut. Take here Determination has 25% increased mana reservation efficiency. Very important at the start. If you got enough, let's say you got an Enlighten level 5. You probably can get away with this. And you just take here, you take 30% reduced extra damage from critical strikes. Did you guys remember when I said I can get this to 80%? Then I got 80% against critical strikes. So we are almost immune for critical strikes. So let's take this back to... Here we go. No, this is not good. This is better. So that was it for the left side. And now we are going all the way to the right side. Why? Because there are a lot of suppression, spell suppression... notes over here. If you get spell suppression, for example, on your chest or your gloves and all that stuff, you can skip this entirely. That's my plan in the next next league, that I can skip everything here and then just build it up here, because I'm losing a lot of points here, 1, 2, 3 points. Just to get 5 points over here. So if I can get it here, I got 3 points extra that I can use here, but I don't have the gear at the moment. You can get spell suppression or a boost, your chest, I think even your gloves, yeah, but I don't have it at the moment. Therefore, I need to go all the way to here to cap the suppression. So I can free a lot if I got a little bit better gear. So we come over here. This is important. This is important. Art of the Gladiator. Then we go here to the north. And here you need to get a jewel that you cannot get corrupted blood on you. Very important. Don't forget to buy it. Here I got my life leech too. So I got my mana leech on my gloves and my life leech on this jewel. Then we go here to the south. And here I'm coming... For the spell suppression. I took those notes too, of course, because 7% life is very, very good. So just take it. Then we go over here. Just take this one. You need to take thick skin. Why you need to take it? Otherwise you are not capped on avoid elemental ailments once again. Then you take this one, a very nice cluster. For spell suppression. Then you come here for spell suppression, and I took a little bit of the life. That's it, guys. So now I'm going to show you guys really quick with a low level gear, and then I'm going to end the video. Of course, this is under the video too, if you want to check it out. So a link to Path of Building. Okay, the last part of the video, so I'm going to show you guys a tier 60 map with this ward. So the moment that you enter the maps, buy it. You will use it for some time until you got Paradoxia or another better one. I'm using the Tabula Rasa too, so I'm not capped on my resistance. The other gear I keep using them, but it's just to show you guys what the build can do with like lower level gear. So if you guys enter the mapping at level, what is it, 67 I think are the first maps, you can still do it. So this is a little bit of gear, of course the gems are in it, but enjoy it. It's a tier 60 map, I just alchemied it and let's go. So thanks for watching guys, have fun in the new league. I'm not going to play probably the new league, I just stay in standard because it's not really fun for me. I'm not really a league player, I don't want to test betas. So I just want to build up the build and make it better on standard. So thanks for watching, have fun, see you guys in the next video, bye bye.
I cannot do this yet.